Hello, welcome back to Storytime with Mr. B. Today we're reading a very special one in honor of a lost kitty, Opie the Diabetic Cat. Opie was a cat, but Opie was not an ordinary kind of cat. Opie was a big, orange, fluffy, fat, terrific, beautiful cat. Opie lived in a very pleasant, happy life with his owner, Adrienne, along with his two pals, Ellie the kitten and Piper the dog. Opie typically spent his mornings chasing mice with Ellie the kitten. Opie would then spend his afternoons eating a tremendous, colossal amount of food. To finish off the day, Opie thoroughly enjoyed tormenting Piper the dog before laying down to get some well-deserved rest. One day, Opie started to feel a little different than normal. A few days went by and Opie began to feel extremely strange. He felt as though he had absolutely no energy left in him. So Opie started to sleep more and more throughout the day. Over the next few weeks, even more changes within Opie were becoming noticeable. Opie's fur became terribly rough and messy, and he started to lose the muscle in his back legs. Opie no longer had the motivation to chase mice with Ellie the kitten in the mornings, or bother Piper the dog in the evenings. Opie barely had the energy to get out of bed to eat his favorite meal, canned tuna and salmon. Opie's owner, Adrienne, became terribly worried for his health, so she decided that it was time to visit a veterinarian for some help and advice. Luckily, Adrienne was able to book an appointment with the best veterinarian in town, Dr. Fraser, who had been a veterinarian for over 30 years. Opie arrived at the vet feeling very sleepy and a little nervous for what was to come. Dr. Fraser looked closely at Opie with a slight confused look on his face. Dr. Fraser decided to perform a few tests on Opie in hopes to find out what was making him feel so horrible. After multiple tests, Dr. Fraser said to Adrienne, "We will have the results in the next few days, but please make sure Opie drinks lots of water until then." Adrienne thanked Dr. Fraser for his time and took Opie straight home, where he continued to feel extremely strange and instantly fell asleep. A few days later, the phone rang and Dr. Fraser was on the other end. Adrienne answered, "Hello?" Dr. Fraser said, "Hello, this is Dr. Fraser. I am afraid I have some bad news, but I have some good news as well." Adrienne replied, "Oh, well, what's the bad news?" Dr. Fraser said, "The bad news is that Opie has diabetes." Diabetes? What is that? Well, long story short, diabetes is where the body is unable to make insulin. Insulin is a hormone that controls the amount of sugar in the blood. Oh my goodness. Well, what does that mean exactly? Is there something that can be done? Well, that's the good news. We will be able to control Opie's diabetes by giving him a shot of insulin twice a day. If you would like to come into my office, I will gladly show you how to give him the shot. I will be right over. Adrienne arrived at Dr. Fraser's office feeling exhausted. Dr. Fraser went over the exact steps of how to give Opie the shot of insulin. He started off by showing Adrienne how to get the insulin up the syringe. Dr. Fraser then explained how to inject the shot in the back of Opie's neck, as this is where he has the most skin, causing the least amount of pain possible. Adrienne thanked Dr. Fraser for his explanation and help he had given her, and she returned home where Opie was in a very deep sleep. Adrienne did exactly what Dr. Fraser showed her. She got the insulin up the syringe, then grabbed the back of Opie's neck so she would not hurt him. Adrienne was terribly nervous to give Opie the shot, so she decided to count down. 3, 2, 1. Adrienne quickly injected the shot in the back of Opie's neck, then immediately shut her eyes. Adrienne anxiously waited for a scream or howl to erupt, but all she heard was silence. Adrienne slowly peeled open her closed eyes to see the biggest surprise of her life. Opie was lying on the couch with a slight grin across his face. Opie did not notice the shot at all. Adrienne was totally thrilled and overjoyed. She continued to give Opie a shot every day in the morning and in the evening. Opie slowly gained his energy back, and after a couple of months, Opie was back to chasing mice with Ellie the kitten in the mornings and tormenting Piper the dog in the evenings. Opie's fur went back to normal. It was actually softer and healthier than ever. The muscle in Opie's back legs came back stronger than before, which meant he was able to get out of bed to eat his favorite food, canned tuna and salmon. Adrienne's heart was completely full seeing Opie happy and healthy after many weeks of misery. Ellie the kitten and Piper the dog were especially grateful that Opie was full of energy and up for daily fun and games. Although Opie will need insulin for the rest of his life, as long as Adrienne gives it in the right amount, Opie will continue to be the healthy, happy, energetic cat that everyone knows and loves. Thanks to Dr. Fraser, Opie has fully recovered and has become happier and healthier than he ever was before. The end.